Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is the May 2020 prediction, your monthly prediction for the month of May. Very exciting. I'm really stoked for this reading. Hopefully we have some good news for the month of May, so let's pray for that right now. If you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how it works. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. And then once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading. If you guys like to pick with crystals at the bottom of the cards, I'll be popping some on there right now. All right, so if you guys like to pick with crystals, here are our crystal options. Over here we have some Auralite 23. This over here is blue topaz. This is some regular quartz. This over here is some blue obsidian. And then this over here is some aquamarine. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading for the month of May. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so group number 1, I'm popping this candle here for some ambiance, and let's hop right into your reading. All right, so group number 1, this is what we have for you guys starting off. So we have the Wheel of Fortune over here, 2 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, and then the Hierophant reversed. So immediately I am getting a vibe that this Wheel of Fortune is bringing to you guys is more of a productive time in May. The Hierophant being reversed at the end over here kind of signifies that maybe you guys have been maybe thinking a lot, planning a lot, daydreaming a lot, planning, things like that. I probably already said planning. I'm just reiterating now. That you guys have been more up in your head, basically. And this Wheel of Fortune is changing the tides for you guys. So now you're going to be a lot more productive in May, especially if you guys have been a little bit more in your head, taking time to relax, taking time to maybe plan or think about your future, or taking time to even manifest. I feel like a lot of the things are going to start rolling in the month of May. The 3 of Pentacles is also telling me that you guys might start a new collaborative effort with some other people in your life, or that you guys are starting to embark on a new journey yourselves, or maybe plan like an at-home business type of thing, or maybe take an online course, because this can also be some learning as well. So learning and working, but I do see an increase in finances just a bit in May, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I do see some finances definitely coming in and becoming a little bit more stronger in the month of May for you guys. And then also with the 2 of Swords over here, this is kind of like in the beginning of May, you might feel a little bit closed off. You might be feeling a little bit reclused. You might be feeling like going a bit inwards. But by the end, well, actually like middle to the end of May is more about actually accomplishing things, doing a lot of goals that you've set out to do. Maybe you're going to rearrange some furniture in your house as well, because the 3 of Pentacles is somehow giving me a little bit of that vibe. But I do feel like somehow you're going to be reunited with some people as well in the month of May, whether that be just on the phone or like coming together in a collaborative effort type of thing. Maybe even seeing some friends that you haven't in a while, whether that just be on FaceTime if these circumstances continue, or actually in person if the world permits such a thing. But yeah, I definitely see a lot more effort and abundance and a lot more motivation happening by the mid to end of May. I'm honestly feeling more around like the beginning middle of May. So what I mean by that is like May 7th, 8th, and 9th, I see being like a turning road for you guys, where things are just going to start looking a lot more motivational and a lot more exciting for you guys. Adding on 2 more cards to here, let's see what we have. We have Virgo, I Analyze, and then we also have the 3rd house of Messages. So both of these are ruled by Mercury. Very interesting. So Virgo and Gemini are the 2 signs that are ruled by Mercury, and these have to do a lot with communication. So again, I feel like you're going to be somehow doing a collaborative effort with people. The 3rd house reminds me a lot of the 3 of Pentacles, where it's like kind of like coming together planning a lot of things, or maybe you need some help from some other people, or you need to get in touch with some other people in order to push forward a project or idea that you have, or even just to communicate and enjoy the company of other people. Virgo over here, since they're both ruled by Mercury, I see communication being a big thing in the month of May. So there's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of planning things, a lot of messaging. Maybe your phone's going to be blowing up with messages around the month of May, even some opportunities coming your way. Mercury usually rules like those beginning, like quick opportunities that can lead to bigger things, but usually they aren't like the big opportunity right away. Usually it's like the small stepping stones to get there. And then Virgo over here, this is really, again, telling me that you're going to see a bit of an increase in finance and a huge increase in motivation, because Virgo rules the 6th house. It is an earth sign. And it reminds me a lot, again, of the Three of Pentacles. Both of these cards together kind of like equal the Three of Pentacles. If I had to create the Three of Pentacles out of 2 astrology cards, it would definitely be the 3rd house in Virgo. So these cards just together kind of reiterate the same energy as the Three of Pentacles, where it's basically just collaborative effort, a lot more talking, a lot more friendship, and then also a lot more working, motivation, moving things forward, finally getting up off your butt. It's time to get away from relaxation. It's time to get away from planning and get into doing. And hopefully you guys will be able to do that. Hopefully there's not too many roadblocks in the month of May, considering what we're all going through at the moment. The 2 other cards that we have here are openness and courage. So let's get into these cards. Openness. All right, so you guys are going to be exploring a realm that you've never explored before, especially when we have the moon. So you've never really walked down this path before. I feel like you guys have been thinking about something for a long time, and you're finally going to be opening the doorway to that. It is finally time to quit planning it and start doing it, whether it comes in baby steps or you are able to take the bigger leaps. I know a lot of us aren't able to take the big leaps right now, but I do feel like you guys will be taking a leap somehow, whether that's a small leap, medium leap, or a big leap. It all depends. Again, it's a general reading, but you guys are going to be walking down a path that you've never really explored much before, and it's going to take a lot of your courage. It's going to take a lot of determination. Again, it's a doorway that you've never opened before, but it's finally time to open. Ooh, that's my phone ringing right now. That signifies, since that ringtone is like a money ringtone, again, it's signifying that I feel like your finances are going to be increasing in the month of May. And again, it's just walk through this. There might be some obstacles in front of you, but just with that determination is going to help you get through with it. And the last 2 cards that we have over here is Child of the Cosmos. I'm going to put this one right side up, even though that one was reversed. Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And then we also have Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time and nature. Okay, so this connects a lot with the earth signs, which we have Virgo and the Three of Pentacles over here, which is very connected to that earthy energy. So I do feel like, again, the month of May for you guys is very material. So whether that means you're just working with a lot of material items, or you're increasing your material wealth in some way, buying a lot of things. Maybe you guys are doing a lot of online shopping. I don't know. But yes, definitely more focused on material things. That can even be taking an online course, learning something new, falls under the realm of like the earth element type of things. And then also working or starting new business projects, that sort of thing. And then the Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So again, this card came up reversed, I think, because of the fact that it is very connected to the moon. You're walking down a path that you've never really walked before. And so maybe it's hard to reach that intelligence that you have within, or maybe there's a bit of an unsurety that will take some courage in order to get over, in order to actually execute this idea or dream. But it is going to happen, and the intelligence of the universe does lie within you. It just is a matter of reaching that and getting to that. The Hierophant reversed kind of indicates that there might be a bit of an unsure kind of feeling within you. Maybe you're not sure if this project is going to be successful. Maybe you're not sure if what kind of obstacles lie ahead of you, but that's okay. These cards are letting you know that everything's going to be okay. It's normal to feel like you don't know the whole entire road yet. That's completely normal. But again, it is encouraging you to have courage and go through with it anyway. So that is what I see for you guys. Pile number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so pile number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your May 2020 prediction. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 2, this is what we have for you guys. So we have the 9 of Cups reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Knight of Cups upright, and then we also have the 4 of Wands reversed. So immediately what I'm getting from this pile is that some of you might be affected quite a bit by the current situation happening in the world right now. And for you guys in particular, I feel like it might be affecting you guys more than others, because right now you definitely feel really delayed and like you can't do anything right now. And I feel like it might be bothering you guys because there's things that you desire. Maybe you're getting really antsy. Maybe you're getting really like, I just want to do some things right now. But with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, this is really telling me that it's like you're being held back from doing a lot. This could also be in your mind more than you think. Maybe there is some opportunity around you that you could actually be doing, which is kind of what the Knight of Cups is telling me. So I think you're going to realize this in the month of May, that the month of May is more about planning. It's more about opening up more spiritually, maybe exploring your emotions, deepening your passions, the things that you're really passionate about. Your creativity is supposed to be utilized right now in the month of May, and you're going to be utilizing it in the month of May a lot more than what you normally would be doing. So the Knight of Pentacles over here being reversed is like, no, we can't push forward materially, we can't push forward maybe in our career as much as we want to, and we can't really make as much money as we're used to. We're definitely being held back in a lot of ways, but right now is the time to be creative, is what the Knight of Cups is telling us. So of course you don't have to be super creative, because the Knight of Cups, since it's ruled by the water signs, this can also just mean that we're relaxing and we're really rejuvenating and taking care of ourselves. So it doesn't mean that you need to be super productive, especially since the productive card is reversed. Anything that just makes you feel good, whether that's doing a creative thing or maybe even just having a spa night for yourself, or things like that, doing a face mask, whatever it is. But this is more of a relaxing, rejuvenating, creative sort of card. And so this is definitely telling me it's a time to focus on those things. Yes, you might feel like, again, things are on hold. The the 9 of Cups being reversed over here, this is talking about that your dreams and goals are delayed. So that's pretty much exactly what's happening for most of us in the world right now. But I feel like for you guys in the month of May, it's definitely going to be a pretty prominent thing that you're noticing and feeling. Although the Knight of Cups being over here is just such a good card that I feel like everything is going to be okay, especially when you start realizing that now's the time to just like take a staycation. Knight of Cups is like a vacation sort of card, but of course a lot of us, most of us, 99% of us, maybe even 100% of us cannot travel whatsoever right now, or at least shouldn't be. I don't know exactly how the month of May is going to be looking. I haven't done a reading for that quite yet about what's going to happen in the world, but assuming that we're going to stay in the current situation, this is more of a staycation. Maybe it'll open back up and we can actually do small vacation-y type of trips, because sometimes the Knight of Cups can indicate that sort of vibe. But just in my understanding, I would say this is more of a staycation than anything. And then the 4 of Wands being reversed, again, this is kind of like feeling a little bit trapped, feeling like your life sort of got uprooted a little bit and things are a little bit tipsy-turvy. You guys might even feel a lot like you maybe even want to move, or somehow you're just not so happy staying at home. And it could even be that you're just tired of your home, maybe even just because of the current like quarantine sort of situation. But this being reversed over here is just really like getting a little bit impatient, getting a little bit antsy, wanting to get out there, maybe really desiring to change up some stuff in your home because maybe you're finding it kind of boring or, you know, stuff like that. So maybe you're going to actually desire to be creative and change something up in your home life in some sort of way because it's getting a little stagnant, it looks like. So Knight of Cups comes in when we add some more creativity, we splash some creativity in our surroundings, and so it looks like you're going to be creative for yourself, in your other projects, your other desires, and then again in your home life as well. Adding 2 more cards over here. Of course, we have the card of creativity coming up, of course. It's exactly what the Knight of Cups is talking about. And then we also have the 2nd house of owning. So, all right. So I do see you guys possibly doing some online shopping, some big purchases. That kind of came up in pile number 1 as well. But you guys have a particularly different reading than pile number 1, other than the fact that I do see some online shopping for you guys as well. And then also over here with 5th house of creativity, this again is kind of reiterating the fact that I feel like you guys are going to put a lot of your energy towards creative passions that you might not have done for a while. So old hobbies that you might have not had time to focus on for a long time are going to resurface, come back into the picture. You guys might also get pretty experimental with maybe yourself and, you know, the way that you look, and maybe you're just going to take some time to like try out different makeup or like whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Somehow it's just a lot of creativity. The Knight of Cups can be, you know, your sense of style, how you look, that kind of stuff as well. And then the 2nd house over here is very Taurian type of energy. So again, this is just taking time to relax, maybe having some spa nights, really focusing on your diet as well. So diet might be a big thing that comes up, about really desiring to eat healthier and getting creative with your food and trying out totally new recipes, totally new things and stuff like that. And then again, with this 4 of Wands being reversed and the 2nd house coming up, you guys could also be purchasing some new items for your home in order to change things up a little bit and get things a little bit refreshed. And our next 2 cards that we have over here is forgiveness and simplicity. So these 2 cards. All right, so I feel like you're going to have to, forgiveness is giving me more of a vibe of surrendering to the current situation. Like, no, we can't really do much about it right now. And so I feel like this is more of a surrender to the situation. And in that surrender, that's going to happen for you guys in May. I feel like you're going to get more in touch with your creativity, with the productive things that you could be doing right now. Not that you have to be productive, but I feel like you guys are going to be leaning towards that in the month of May, just because I feel like you guys are going to get pretty antsy. And so this is more of a surrendering sort of feeling to the situation. Simplicity is like, yes, things are a little bit simple right now, but it's finding the balance and finding the blessings that are in the simplicity. So yes, life's a bit boring right now. It's a bit simple, but it's coming back to those roots, coming back to that simplicity and finding the bliss that's in there. The last 2 cards that we have over here is Called and then Star Brothers. So Called over here, yeah, I definitely feel like you're going to have like this inner calling to open a new doorway, because right now it's like you might be feeling that life's getting a bit mundane because all the things that you are used to doing are on hold. So now you're being called to open up an entirely new doorway, an entirely new way of living. So yeah, soul gifts and training, it's time to step up. So what are your natural talents? What are your natural gifts? It's time to awaken those. That's the Knight of Cups right there, is the creativity, the natural talents that you have. It's time to wake those back up. And then Star Brothers over here, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. So again, this is just kind of like trusting in it, surrendering to the circumstances and being really strong through it. This is having that Mars type of energy, because it's a very masculine type of energy, is the Star Brothers card. So the masculine energy is having that creativity and that drive and that motivation otherwise, like regardless of what's going on right now, and the trust and knowing that you're safe, knowing that you're protected, you're being watched over, everything's okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so group number 3, if you guys picked this pile, this is going to be your May 2020 prediction, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 3, this is what we have for you guys. So we start off with the 5 of Pentacles being reversed, then we have the Ace of Cups reversed, 4 of Cups upright, and then Judgment upright. So what I'm seeing for you guys is a big healing time and a big time of like letting go and going within. This is kind of like a spiritual awakening. When we have these 2 cards next to each other, it's like totally one of those like miniature spiritual awakenings. It can also be a big one. So, I mean, this is a general reading. Both these cards together, the 4 of Cups is like more of like, this is giving me the vibes of kind of more of a quick 1 month type of spiritual awakening. The Judgment's usually like a really big, like massive, like letting go, healing, big spiritual awakening. So I mean, it's probably a balance of them both, but over here it's definitely like going inward. I feel like you guys have an outer focus with the Ace of Cups being reversed. You guys have like this thing outside you that you're excited about. Maybe it's a crush that you have that you are very excited by, but right now is a time of instead focusing on you. And so it might feel like this crush, or maybe even this project or this work thing that you guys have is currently on hold, and the universe is like, okay, time to not really focus on that too much. Maybe you guys can still have a focus on it, but right now is a huge time to be focusing on you, your spirituality, if that's something that you're into, because that's a huge thing that's within both of these cards. Also a huge healing time. And so it's almost like you aren't ready to pursue this idea or this crush that you might have, or this desire of yours. It's not ready to be pursued yet because you still need to do some inner work, some inner healing right now. And so whatever it is that you desire is being put on hold for your own good, because it wouldn't really work out anyway prior to the healing. And so this healing needs to take place. And I think the reason why I'm getting the fact that it could be long or short is I think it's a long-term spiritual awakening, but the healing doesn't have to be super long. It can be done decently quick. I feel like 1 month, like a full month of healing, I feel like will bring you back to your core, back to your center. And it's not that you guys have to get like super obsessed about healing, I must heal, all these things. This could even be something minor. This could be something major. I'm sure you guys listening to this know what it is already, but it's something that I feel like you guys are still holding on to, and it's time to let go of that to be able to fully turn around and accept the new goodness coming your way. It's time to really focus on, you know, the things that might still be bothering you from the past, and it's time to shed that skin. Like the Judgment card always reminds me of a snake shedding its old skin, and it's almost like a renewal and rebirth. But the Judgment itself kind of means that you go within and you really start to look within at yourself instead of putting the blame outside of you. It's not that you have to blame yourself for any situation, not at all, but it's forgiveness to the outside world. I know that can be a really hard thing depending on the situation. Not necessarily that you, well, I personally think forgiveness is really important. Some people don't think that you have to do that. I mean, it's really up to you guys at the end of the day, but the Judgment is like being able to really go within and heal yourself and focus on you instead of always focusing on what has happened outside of you. It's putting the focus inwards, healing yourself internally, and learning from that, growing from that, feeling change from the situation, but in a positive way that allows you to grow from it. So this is what Judgment talks about, and it's being able to really see the situation for what it is. Everything is a reflection of itself. And I know in some situations that is extremely difficult to see, but I feel like in the month of May, it's time to be doing that, and really time to let go of the past. really fully releasing it, finishing up anything that needs to be done with the past in order to be able to move forward. And the fact that we also have Five of Swords reversed over here, this is again talking about healing the past. Maybe feeling like you were a victim of something, maybe feeling like things were unfair, things weren't going your way. It is time to release that. It's time to release that belief, because it is a belief. We fell into a situation. You are out of it now. At least the cards are indicating for most of you, you're out of it now. But it's time to fully finish it up, release it, close that cycle so that it no longer needs to be attached to your identity. And what I mean by that is you can take the situation as learning and learn so much from it, but you don't have to identify with that situation anymore. You no longer are that same person. You're no longer the same person that went through this. You've grown so much since then. Therefore, it's no longer the incident, the actual incident is no longer part of your identity. The growth and who you are now is part of your identity, but the situation, that point, no longer has to be you if you no longer want to keep living in that same energy, in that same cycle. So that's really what I'm seeing here in these cards. And let's add on two more to find out a little bit more information about what's happening in the month of May for you guys. We have the fire element of desire, and then we have the 8th house of endings and beginnings. Wow, this is so powerful, just based on what we were talking about right now. So these two cards, I'm going to start off talking about fire element of desire. This is very connected right now to the Ace of Cups, even though water and fire are complete opposites. But I really see the Ace of Cups being a certain desire of yours right now and a certain passion that you might desire to pursue at the moment, but for some reason it feels like it can't happen. There's a block in the way. And I'm not talking about the current situation that we're in. I mean some sort of block that you might be facing that keeps coming up for you, that stops you from pursuing this certain desire. This block is happening because you need to finish this cycle. You need to really let go of it. You need to shed that old skin and really step into the new self. This is why we have the 8th house of endings and beginnings. It's ruled by Scorpio, and it's all about shedding the past, rebirth, and it's also about going really deep and doing some even shadow work around this situation. I do have a shadow work video if you guys are interested in what shadow work is. I think that would be a very powerful tool for most of you guys during this time, especially in this reading that we're having, especially if it's resonating with you. So definitely go check that out if you guys are interested in that. And then I feel like that will open up the gateways to finally living in your desires and in your passions. All right, so let's add two more cards to find out some more information on this. We have enlightenment, and then we have opportunity. So in the month of May, I feel like you're going to actually reach some deeper enlightenment within, especially about this current situation. And then I feel like you're also this sailboat that once you shed this skin, it's almost like detaching the anchor that was anchoring your boat in the water. And then all of a sudden you're going to realize you're on this cosmic boat that can float up, and I mean this metaphorically, that can float up into the cosmos. You know, you're going to cut this chain that's anchoring you to the water of your past. And then all of a sudden this boat is like this ferry boat, whatever, that all of a sudden starts floating up into the sky, and you realize that you can go anywhere, that there's no limitations on you, and you're this sailboat just flying and soaring through the beautiful cosmos, able to go wherever you want, wherever your passions lie, and explore any galaxy. So beautiful metaphor right there. And then this card's just really gorgeous, by the way. And we can see that little sailboat on here floating up into its cosmic dreams. And then opportunity over here. I feel like you're going to open up so many options. Again, it's like releasing that anchor is going to float you up into limitless possibilities, and you're going to find opportunity, you're going to find abundance, you're going to find that things just somehow start to work out for you, and you might not even realize why. It might be really confusing, but it's just somehow things are going to start going your way. The last two cards that we have over here is We the Hathors, and then the Cosmic Heart. Ooh, we have the Cosmic Heart. I'm talking about cosmos and stuff. So We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Wow. So this is rebirth. You guys, through your rebirth, through this ending and new beginning, this rebirth of yourself, you are literally going to be birthed into a whole new portal. It's like you guys portal into like a new dimension where everything's good, all the opportunities are happening. It's like you're shot up into the cosmos with wild opportunity happening for you guys. And the cosmic heart over here, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. I'm gonna let that speak for itself for a second. Wow. Wow. Okay, so make your life a moving prayer. That just really sticks out with me, especially with what we were just talking about. So move past from the past, do the shadow work around it, release yourself from that, and in that releasing, you are like moving through the cosmos. Allow your prayers to be answered, and they will be answered as long as you let go and you shed that old skin. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 3, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so group number 4, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your May 2020 monthly prediction. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 4, this is what we have for you guys. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Devil, the 6 of Cups, and then the 4 of Swords, all upright over here. So let's get into what all of this means. So immediately what I'm getting from the Devil and the 6 of Cups over here is that there is some things about the past that might be bothering you, some habits about the past that might come up and resurface, maybe some different limitations that you've had on yourself, some toxic thoughts or patterns that might be coming back up again in the month of May, but these are in order to be dealt with. But I feel like they're coming up specifically because you've been having a lot of time to sit and think when we have the 4 of Swords. So maybe you've been having a bit of extra time on your hands to be by yourself and reflect. And because of that, I feel like there's some different things coming up that are bothersome, some toxic habits that you might be encountering, or maybe you're a bit bored right now, and so maybe some toxic behaviors are coming up at the moment, and so it's just a way of passing time. Or, you know, usually when we have a lot of time to reflect, our mind goes to places on its own, and sometimes they're not the funnest places. So I feel like a bit of that might be coming up for you guys in the month of May. Although I do want to say with the 8 of Pentacles over here, it's time to be working on these things, and you're going to be working on these things. I do also feel like you might be occupying your time and keeping busy with different little things that are around you. Maybe you guys are still working yourselves, but on your alone time, it does seem like you guys are feeling really alone, and it's coming up, some interesting feelings are coming up because of your alone time that you've been having. But I do feel like there's still a decent amount of work that you guys are putting in at the moment. So maybe you guys do still have your jobs right now and are still working. But again, like I said, during that alone time, I feel like there's certain things that are really surfacing for you at this moment that need to be dealt with. So again, this is coming up because it's helping bring these things to your conscious mind so that you can hopefully deal with them and remove them, get over them, that sort of thing. And so this could even be toxic eating habits as well, because if the 6 of Cups is really reminding me of having dinner but by yourself, for some reason that image just keeps coming to my head when I look at that card. Although normally that card doesn't really associate with that, but it is coming up quite a bit whenever I look at that card at the moment in the current reading. So it could also be toxic eating habits for you guys that are coming up because of quarantine, and maybe there's not a lot of food out there, or maybe it's just you guys can snack more often since being at home. Some of us tend to snack. And so definitely look out at your current behaviors. Maybe there's some toxic things kind of coming up for you guys right now, but that's in order to be dealt with. It could also be something from the past though that's bothering you, because normally the 6 of Cups associates with the past. It could also be with family members as well, but normally associates to childhood, stuff like that. So there might be some things resurfacing because of that. And yes, let's look some deeper into this. So the Aries card over here, I am. So this could be like a self-identity sort of thing, wondering who you really are. This could be like limiting beliefs that you have on yourself, toxic thinking patterns that might come up for you once in a while, especially when you're alone. So this could be really trying to figure out who you really are, and maybe you've been suppressing who you really are because of trying to withhold up a certain standard, or trying to fit in with you know, the people that are around you, the people that you love, your family, your friends, your lover, trying to fit in with them and taking over some toxic habits because of that, or maybe repressing your true self because you're trying to be accepted by those that are around you. And so that might be coming up pretty big around this time. And again, we have Venus of love, so this can be, again, reiterating, talking about the people that you're surrounded by, your friends, your family, or your significant other. So that could be a prominent thing coming up at the moment in order to be dealt with. So you might be noticing a little bit more of that during the month of May. And then Venus of love also coming up right now can also mean that we do have a bit more of an abundance of love right now, but I do feel like based on the cards that we have around here, this is more of dealing with the issues that might be surrounding that, like feeling suppressed, feeling like your self-identity is suppressed. Maybe you're the one that's suppressing it because you're scared to be your true self around these people, or maybe you're finally realizing that you've been wearing a mask this whole time, or maybe you actually feel suppressed by the certain people that you're around, and that you have kind of lost yourself a little bit. So that's kind of a thing that's coming up pretty prominently in the month of May for you guys, though I do feel like with Eight of Pentacles, there will be lots to do, lots to work on. That's good. You guys might even take some sort of online course when we have Eight of Pentacles, because Eight of Pentacles can signify learning sometimes as well, on top of it also signifying career and work and stuff like that. So 2 more cards that I have for you guys is Truth and Transformation. So the month of May is about releasing your inner truth. And then, of course, going through a transformation because of it. So you guys might finally realize that it is time to come to your true self. It is time to release the truth. Stop repressing the deeper parts of yourself and finally allow your true inner self to express its truth. Whoever you really are, allow that to come out. Allow it to come to the surface. Stop repeating patterns of suppression and being somebody that you're not. Also seeing the truth behind maybe your own toxic beliefs, behaviors, or patterns, and allowing those to come up in order for them to be transformed into something that is actually beautiful. Transform the dark into the light. So the month of May is all about that transformation and finally really allowing your true desires to come out, allowing your true self to come out, allowing your truth to come out, allowing yourself to be vulnerable in order for that to transform, and so you can realize who you really are, and in order to redefine a new self. This is transforming who you are. So it's time to create a new I am. Who do you really feel on the inside? And I mean this in a positive way. It's really interesting. One thing that I learned is whatever you desire most, whatever makes you the most happy, whatever you're attracted to is who you are. A lot of us tend to self-identify with the negative things, but since you're not attracted to the negative things, since those things don't feel good, that means it's not you. You're hanging on to something that's not you. That's why you dislike it, is because it's not you. You might have some certain behaviors, you might have some certain personality aspects that make you feel negative, or you might look at as negative. The reason why you look at them as negative is because you don't resonate with them, which means that it's not you. You are having a mask on that's not you. It's time to let those things go, let them fade away, and redefine who you are and transform into that true self. The last 2 cards that we have for you guys is Inner Earth, You'll Survive This, New Solutions and Beginnings. And then our last card is Whale and Orca Elders, Share Your Song, Frequency of Sound, Deep Diving. So this is deep diving into who you really are, sharing your true song of who you really are, your true vibrations, being able to transform that into who you really are. The inner earth, you'll survive this. This is the motivation of you're doing great. There is a solution to this. New solutions are coming up and new beginnings for you. So whatever you guys are going through right now, you're going to be okay. If you're worried about anything, if there's worries coming up right now during this time, this card is literally saying you'll survive this. There's new solutions coming up. There's new beginnings coming up. There will be a fresh start again. So just go with the flow of it. Transformation is going to occur. Do not worry. Redefine a new self. Find a way to enjoy yourself, and only define yourself based on, you know, what you enjoy. Be able to let go of the past. Be able to still face the darker aspects of yourself, of course, but face them in order to confront them and let them go and realize that you are not that. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 4. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so my last pile number 5. If you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your monthly May prediction. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 5. This is what we have for you guys. We have the Death reversed, then we have Page of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and then we also have Shadow Work reversed. This whole reading reminds me of pile 4 so much. So if you guys were attracted to pile 4 as well, then yeah, you guys have a very similar reading. It's different, but it's also very similar. So Death over here being reversed is talking about how currently there is a change that's about to occur for you guys, but hasn't quite occurred yet. This could be a change in the self, or maybe you're desiring to change something about yourself. And I really feel like that's, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you guys are desiring to change something about yourself. This could be in your personality. It could be changing, desiring to change who you are because of a past situation, desiring to change who you are because you don't feel like you're being yourself right now, or you don't feel like yourself at the moment. And so maybe you're desiring to change up your look. Maybe you're desiring to change up what you wear. Maybe you're desiring to change up, you know, who you've been, because maybe you feel like you've been repressing your true self. So I'm definitely feeling a little bit of that. You're on the verge of opening up to this change. The Page of Wands over here is signifying that you guys are going to be exploring some creative routes in the month of May. So this is like, actually this reading is quite different from pile number 4, but there's just some similar cards that sort of have similar meanings, but they're laid out differently. So it's an entirely different reading, but maybe you guys were attracted to pile number 4. Anyway, back to the reading. Page of Wands over here, you guys are going to be possibly, definitely exploring a new kind of beginning, being creative about like, what do I want to change about myself? Who do I want to be in this moment? Maybe you guys are even wanting to change up your career right now, changing up, you're really feeling differently. The month of May for you guys, you're feeling so different internally that you really want a change on the outside. And so this is definitely like ready to blossom into something entirely new, and the Page of Wands is really indicating that. So this is really being experimental with possibly your style, the way that you look, being experimental with what do I want my career to be. I feel like you guys are opening up this new level of freedom. I feel like you guys are like a butterfly that's opening up, that's like, okay, wait, I can explore the whole world. Before, you were a caterpillar living on the ground, you were only able to ever explore the ground, but now I feel like you're almost leveling up in consciousness. And so yes, you've become a butterfly now, and now you see this whole other world out there, and you're realizing that there's so much more to explore. And so this is a fun time for you guys. This is like, ooh, the world is my oyster and I get to explore it. What does that expression even mean, by the way? The world is my oyster. I know what it means, but like, why do they use the example of an oyster? You know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, like, oysters are kind of like clams. You open them up. I don't know. I don't know why they use that to express like unlimited possibility. I don't know. Anyway, 10 of Pentacles being next. I feel like there's also a career change for you guys opening up. I feel like you guys are going to enter this whole new world of like exploring entirely new concepts, new ideas, new things that you might want to be doing, and you're going to be adding so much more onto your plate, but in a really fun way. I feel like you guys are pretty excited about this. But then there's also, this kind of comes with letting go of the past a bit, because we have shadow work being reversed. And so this would technically mean that you guys are doing a lot of light work right now, but I also feel like there's still some shadow work to be done, because there might be some fears holding you back from this, or there might be certain other nuances, mundane things that you need to accomplish and get done before fully heading in this direction. And that'll come up with time. But I do feel like there's this whole new world opening up for you guys, and it's quite exciting. So you guys might be totally exploring new ideas, new concepts, new things. Maybe you guys are gonna be exploring Pinterest a lot, because I feel like you guys feel really inspired, but I feel like there's this feeling of, I don't know exactly what I'm super inspired about yet. I'm not sure exactly what this whole path looks like, but there's so much energy and abundance here that you guys just know that you're heading in this new direction. But there's this feeling of, you don't know the whole picture yet. By the end of May, I feel like you guys are gonna know so much more of this picture. The Ten of Pentacles is telling me that you're gonna feel as if you know it all by the end of May. So all of the questions that you've been inspiring to learn about and figure out are going to be answered by the end of May. Anyway, I keep repeating myself here. Sometimes I keep reiterating the same things because I'm feeling such a big energy, and I'm trying to really fully tap into and explain that energy that I'm feeling. So sometimes it can sound like I'm repeating myself, which I totally apologize about, but just really trying to fully explain the feelings that I get. All right, our next two cards is First House, the Body, and then Scorpio, I Transform. So maybe you guys are really trying to, because this is exactly what I was reading in these cards. Death is exactly like the Scorpio, I Transform card. First House, the Body, is kind of explaining that possibly you guys are really wanting to change up something about your look. Maybe you guys are really wanting to go on a diet plan, or change up, you know, maybe some exercise to really work on your body right now, or change something about the way that your appearance, your style, what you wear, that kind of stuff. So I definitely feel like you guys are on the road of like really focusing on that. And then, yeah, you guys are like this butterfly that's totally about to transform. Very Scorpio-esque sort of energy happening in this reading. So not that you guys have to be a Scorpio, it's just Scorpio energy that you guys are really cultivating right now. So, wow, okay. You're also changing up who you are. You're really redefining who you are, since we have the first house. So this can be redefining your career, redefining how you see yourself, but in a very positive way. You guys are kind of like the fourth pile, but you guys are going through the transformation in this more like positive outlook. Yeah, anyway, similar reading, but slightly different. The next two cards that we have over here is Abundance and then Blessings. All right, so Abundance over here. I feel like you guys there's a lot of exciting things. I feel like with whatever's going on in your lives right now, you're able to see it so positively and so optimistically. Love that about you guys. This is great. Blessings as well over here. There's a lot of flowers blooming, so I feel like this is totally a new beginning happening for you guys. Big transformation. You guys are finally opening up. I feel like you guys have been planning or feeling a certain energy shift happening, and now it's finally in the month of May. You guys are totally blossoming into that, and yeah, that transformation's like starting to take place. Beautiful. These cards kind of reiterate exactly what I was talking about. But again, abundance and blessings, I do feel like there's a lot of gifts happening for you guys in the month of May. You might notice a lot of gifts coming your way, where it's like surprise bonuses, surprise paychecks, surprise shifts, changes, gifts, stuff like that. Then the last two cards that we have over here is Weight, and then the Sea of Mintaka. Totally pronounced that wrong. All right. wait, it is not your time. Things are being woven. So there's lots still that's being prepared. There's lots still that you're preparing. So death being reversed is the transformation isn't happening quite yet, especially in the beginning of May, but by the end of May, things might start really moving forward with this new self, with this new style. Maybe you're going to be experimenting with a new style for like the month of May, and then by the end, it's finally like really cultivating that new style. So just wait. Everything's still being woven. Your desires, maybe you guys, again, if you're thinking about changing up your career and stuff, wait. Don't jump on the next idea right away, because things are still being cultivated, things are still being woven, things are still being manifested. So keep your focus on this new inspiring feeling that you guys are getting for this new change that you guys are willing into your life, but just don't jump on the first opportunity, because things are still being woven. If it feels like such a good opportunity, of course do it, but like don't just dive headfirst into the first thing, because I feel like things are still being cultivated. Anyway, the Sea of Mintaka. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Sorry, I can like barely see this. I'm not wearing my glasses right now, and from where I'm sitting, it might sound like I'm reading that so weirdly. It's because my eyes are like, I can't see the word properly. Anyway, seeing potential. You guys are going to see so much more opportunity, so much more blessings, abundance, gifts, opportunities coming your way. Bringing unconsciousness to light. So bringing parts of the things that you couldn't see into light. Again, like that butterfly example that I gave. When you were a caterpillar, you couldn't see the sky, or you couldn't see the things that were way up above. But as the butterfly, now you're seeing the things that you couldn't see before. So this is like the unconscious parts. So all these things still existed, but as a caterpillar, it was unconscious because you couldn't exactly go up and walk to it and see these things that were way up in the air. So now that you're the butterfly, you're transforming into the butterfly, the unconscious things that you were once unaware of are now being brought to light. So it's just a metaphor for all of the things that you couldn't see before, all the opportunity, all the blessings that you couldn't see before are all of a sudden going to be brought to light for you guys in the month of May. So hope you guys enjoyed this reading, pile number 5. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.